Good, happy Friday morning, March 18, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Friday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started right now. First up, South Hegan High School teacher accused of inappropriate contact with a former student resigns. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
South Hegan High School teacher accused of having inappropriate contact with a former student has now resigned. The district had placed music teacher Carl Benavides on paid leave after the Department of Education announced an investigation. Superintendent Adam Steele said at the time the alleged misconduct does not involve any current student.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. White House asks Congress to approve additional pandemic relief money. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi, I'm Lindsay.
What's up, guys?
I bought the Oak Hill Lodge in Big Bear, California. And I brought...
Almost immediately, we start to see the effects of not having this funding.
A warning from the White House tonight, saying several COVID-19 related services could be cut if Congress doesn't pass emergency COVID response funding immediately.
As early as next week, not being able to have the uninsured fund to cover tests and treatments for uninsured individuals, and certainly weeks after that, the same with vaccines.
The Biden administration has asked for $22.5 billion. Congress didn't agree, proposing a scaled-back $15.5 billion package, which was also scrapped.
This is nothing to mess with. I think we need even more money than the compromise was.
Some lawmakers say more funding isn't needed because there is still money available from previous COVID packages. However, the White House says more than 90% of those funds have already been allocated.
A lot of people will point at state funds that aren't yet spent, but states are planning. A lot of times they've got 2 to 3 years worth of public health infrastructure they're invested in. That investment goes to waste if you cut it off before it's right.
We have to upset it, and that's what we'll have to go to, and I would hope that the sensitivities of those to any offset would be the equity that would be weighed as to what we need to do to save lives and livelihood and prevent the creation of a new variant.
And in a statement to News 9, Representative Annie Custer said that Congress is working to pass some kind of funding, while Congressman Chris Pappas took it one step further, saying any money should not be coming from funding that's already been pledged to New Hampshire and other states. Live in studio, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New charges filed against Manchester mother in child abuse investigation. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Tonight, a Manchester mother is facing new charges as part of a child abuse investigation. 31-year-old Jessica Lafayette was initially arrested in January after a child in her care was taken to the hospital with bruises. Now, police believe she assaulted children in her care multiple times. She is charged with 26 criminal counts. Investigators say 33-year-old Felipe Monterio knew about the assaults but never reported them. He's also facing 26 criminal counts.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Books donated to Children Life Program at Wentworth Douglas Hospital. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
A big book donation to help families at Wentworth Douglas Hospital.
The books from the publisher Usborne will go to the hospital's Child Life program. Families staying there will get a book and they'll be able to take it home. The donation was made possible by Samantha Gagney, who works for the publisher and also had her baby at the hospital. The Child Life program is run solely on donations, as so many things are.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Driver accused of hitting DOT vehicle cited. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The driver accused of hitting a transportation worker's vehicle on I-93 last Friday has now been cited for failing to move over. We first showed you that video from the crash last night showing Chris Quimby's pickup getting hit by a box truck. Quimby was wearing his seatbelt at the time and only had minor injuries.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Senate passes bill to move state primary earlier. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Lawmakers in Concord are once again pushing for an earlier state primary election. Many reps and senators want to move that primary up 3 months from September to June, but some state senators say that would infringe on their legislative work. That opposition forced a compromise today in the state Senate to move the primary to the second Tuesday in August. That bill passed with strong bipartisan support.
To me, that's a fair negotiation because it gets the federal candidates in a little earlier and gives us a little bit more time to get out there.
This bill is similar to one bill vetoed last year by Governor Chris Sununu. He opposes moving the state primary, saying it's an intrusion on people's summer vacations.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Health officials warn spike in COVID-19 cases caused by subvariant. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
U.S. authorities tonight are urging caution, not alarm, but caution amid these rising COVID cases across Europe and China, driven by the Omicron subvariant. They're now predicting it could become the dominant strain here in the U.S., believing it is at least 30% more transmissible than Omicron was. They say it wasn't too early to take off the masks, but to keep them nearby, and they're not ruling out needing them again. Steve Osunsami at the CDC tonight in Atlanta.
At the same time, most of this country is now dropping COVID restrictions because of declining cases. Health officials tonight are closely watching a new subvariant of Omicron that's spreading overseas.
The cases we're seeing are just the tip of the iceberg.
That coronavirus subvariant is called BA2, and across Europe and China, it's spreading quickly. Dr. Anthony Fauci believes America could see a new wave of these cases this spring.
We expect that over the coming weeks, it likely will be more and more dominant over the BA1.
He says the vaccines work against it, and it doesn't appear to cause more severe disease than the current dominant strain. But scientists believe it's between 30 and 80% more transmissible. BA2 is already nearly a quarter of all COVID cases in the U.S., and at nearly a third of this country's wastewater sampling sites, which have become an early warning system for COVID cases, samples that are positive for the coronavirus are up 1,000% in the last 2 weeks. The director of the CDC says don't throw away that mask just yet.
They should put that mask in a drawer because if we have more cases that occur in the winter time, if we have more cases that occur because of a new variant, we want to make sure that people have had the opportunity to take those masks off so that we can re-implement them and protect people should we need them again.
Public health officials are pointing out that immunity from the vaccines and prior infections is getting less every day. Pfizer, for example, is asking the government to approve a fourth shot for Americans 65 and older.
I don't think there's any doubt that sooner or later, particularly among the elderly, that they will need a boost of a fourth shot.
Health officials here at the CDC worry that we could only be a couple weeks away from what they're seeing in Europe right now. And they point out that a new variant of the coronavirus could pop up at any time. David?
Just a reminder for us all that we have to track it continually. Steve, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, everyone, and goodbye.